Hi, we're Avi and Kyle from Santa Cruz, California.
I'm a software engineer, and we do scuba diving a lot.
Yeah, we really love water sports. So boogie boarding, scuba diving. We like hiking in the mountains near Santa Cruz in the redwoods, zip lining.
And she's a photographer, and she takes pictures of everything above and below the water. So we were both getting to, we were in our 50s, and we were both feeling like we had been slowing down a little bit in our activities, and sometimes it was just harder to do things. Energy levels were lower. And we'd noticed also that sometimes things were just more achy than normal, and it was just a kind of a somewhat sudden change in a way. And so it was something that we thought, well, if there was a way to reverse some of that, it would be great.
I was experiencing a number of symptoms I was just hitting menopause, got past that, I was 54. I was starting to feel like I was slowing down. And frankly, that scared me. And I was really concerned about being able to be active and keep my health up with this wonderful person and be able to do the things we love. And I also have heart disease and dementia as some of the health risks in my family. But it was really for me the hiking up this one hill. Every time I was having to stop in the middle, and that had never happened before. I have to stop and rest for like 5 seconds. Not because I was out of breath, it was just like my leg muscles needed a minute to catch up. The other thing that I was finding is that nagging, not being able to find the right word, and it's not like it's a complicated word, sometimes be a simple word like, donut, whatever. And I couldn't think of it, and then I'd be like, oh yes, or somebody's name, and those things were starting to nag at me, and that uncertainty.
Before treatment, we would take a lot of hikes, and I could do the hikes fine, but when I got home, I'd be very, very tired, and I noticed that had really started sometime a little bit after turning 50. It had never been that way before. It was very easy to do things, and I would recover very quickly. And I have a lot of aches in my joints, particularly in my feet and my ankles and things like that. And so I realized that it was just starting to actually creep into my daily existence, which caused me to exercise less. It was also a problem with just general focus, I think, is what people sometimes call brain fog, just the ability to kind of be more present in a moment and to have a clearer set of thinking. And so all of those things were concerns for me.
So I initially heard about stem cells and was looking in a number of places and heard about Dr. Riordan's book. So I read through the whole thing and was very excited to see that several risks that I have in my family's medical history, there were specific protocols for. And a lot of those things, we just didn't really have a lot of hope. It was just accepted that you're going to get older and these are going to happen to you and there's nothing you can do about it. So I was really excited when I read that book, and that's what brought us to Panama specifically. I have a background in science and have been fortunate to work in labs. I'm not a PhD, but I got to work in a lab for several years. And I was very interested in a place that had solid science and publications and medical data, as opposed to more of a marketing kind of sales pitch approach. And that was another reason why we decided to come here to Panama City, because the Stem Cell Institute had solid science behind what they were doing, and that made us more comfortable. We didn't know that it was even available for people our age, so we're really excited about it for preventative. And so those were all things that brought me personally, and I'm hopeful that this might open up my family feeling comfortable to coming to Panama, because it's been a great experience. So after the stem cell treatment, I did have a period of time where I was more tired. After a time, I found that I had the energy, as I described to my friends and family, I had the energy I had 10 years ago, but I treasure it because I know it's a gift, it's not a given. And to this day, I'm still able to do those things physically without even having to think about it. Not have to manage or plan ahead the way you do when you get older and you're suddenly like, oh, I have to plan ahead, I can't get up this hill. I just walk up the hill while having a conversation with Kyle, and I don't have to think about it. That is such a gift. And I work very hard now to work on my muscle mass and bone density, knowing that it's a gift to have this time when I can build it up. So that really does take a lot of anxiety out of the aging process for me. And on the mental side, I found that I wasn't struggling with those strange foggy moments with not remembering a word.
After the treatment, and it didn't take very long, but I started to notice some improvements, and particularly my energy. And I had the ability to do exercise without really any of the bad consequences of being my age. It was more like being young. You'd get tired, but then you'd recover. And I would have none of those pains in my legs and feet from hiking. And a lot of my word choices are a lot faster now. And my brain fog is much reduced, which is great. So I've been able to notice that my thinking is better, which is good because it helps me do things at work, but also be more present in any moment I'm in.
But did you mention
I'm about to mention that. There's one other thing I forgot about since I was a teenager. I never needed an asthma-style inhaler, but I would get slightly asthmatic when I worked out, and it would not be at the most strenuous times. And I told them about this, and they said, well, you could do this nebulizer treatment and the trophic factors. And after doing that, I noticed that was gone. I mean, I was able to run up hills, and I could never do that before, but now I don't even have that. And so it's a really wonderful feeling to be able to do that. And since we are scuba divers, it's particularly nice to have clear airways. That was having so many great effects. There had been so many other people who had benefited from it, and I knew that I wanted to be one of them.
That was definitely a big thing before we came that we appreciated that you all did, was we felt like people were holding our hands through the whole process. Like, they really will take every obstacle you can think of and find a way to make it work for you. And I so appreciate that, so that you don't have the stress of all those little things adding up on top of the uncertainty of trying something new.
I think for me it was the sense that I had gotten so much benefit out of the first time, and I felt like, well, if I can get even more restoration or reparation to parts of my body that maybe weren't initially those issues I had thought about, or maybe there are things I hadn't noticed yet but would notice soon, that I wanted to just have another shot at that and allow my body the chance to really heal on a previously healed body. And that's why I decided to come the second time. So this is one way, I think, to just turn back the clock for it goes a long way back, and it's pretty amazing. So it's like you have a fresh rested brain, you have a fresh rested body, and when you do the right things, when you treat your body right and you treat your brain right, you get the results that you used to get, which is amazing. So it's definitely worth it, even a single time.
I like what you said about turning back the clock, because I think that's the biggest thing. I think it's a wonderful investment, and we feel it's been over a year since the last time we were here, and we still feel that we're barely back from where we were once we got to the height of what we were after the treatment. So it's definitely well worth doing. And most importantly, I just think then it's going to raise the standard for everything else, because you have this perspective of knowing what you could lose and then getting to go back to the time where you haven't lost it. You take that more seriously, you take your health more seriously. So there's like secondary effects like that too, which I think pay off.